Jamie. Hi, Caroline. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and start. Welcome everyone to the Youth Engagement Community of Practice kickoff. We're very happy to have all of you here with us today, and we hope this call is going to be the start of something great. I just want to start with some housekeeping items. Please keep yourself muted during the whole duration of the call. Also, please keep your cameras off. The chat box is really going to be our main channel of communication today. So whether you have any thought, any concern, any comment, any questions, feel free to add them there, especially your questions. We're going to have a short Q&A at the end if the time allows. So we'd love to hear from you. Please don't shy away from the chat. We'll keep an eye on it. And if you have anything to say, just add it in there. So who do we have on the call today? So please go to the next slide, Tina. Great, thank you. So in the call today, we have Apoor, who is my colleague. He'll introduce himself in a minute. We have myself, I'm the COP Youth Advisor. And we have Jesse and Hina, who are the YP2LE Communities Managers, along with Cole, who's helping with tech support. So moving into the next slide. Who are we? Apoor and I are your youth engagement community of practice facilitators. I'm actually going to give the floor for my colleague Apoor now to introduce himself quickly, and then I'll do the same.
Hi, everyone. My name is Apoor. I'm the champion for the COP on youth engagement. I'm from India, but I've been working and living in Kampala, the capital of Uganda, in Eastern Africa for about 1.5 years now. My background is broadly in the areas of youth, sexual and reproductive health, human rights, and gender. Currently, I'm leading business development for Restless Development, which is a global agency for youth-led change. Most of my day-to-day work involves designing programs, writing proposals, and making new partnerships to advance positive youth development in Uganda and across the world. I'm really happy to see all of you here and look forward to connecting with you. I'm going to pop in my LinkedIn profile just so that we can keep chatting and connecting post this meeting. Thanks.
Great, thank you so much, Apoor. So my name is Vanquis. I'm the Youth Engagement COP Youth Advisor. I'm originally from Tunisia, a small country in North Africa. Currently, I work as the Regional Program Officer for the Middle East and North Africa with the World Youth Alliance. And I have about 5 years of experience in the nonprofit sector, international development, working with youth really from all around the world. We are so excited to have you here today. And like Apoor said, I'll also add my LinkedIn profile so that we can continue chatting after this call. So what are we going to do today? First of all, we're getting to know each other. We will be getting to know each other a bit more, especially you guys in the call. We're going to try to understand the youth engagement COP, share our goals and expectations, and define our next steps. So moving into the next slide, to get to know, you and everyone else here, we thought about making some icebreakers and introductions, try to do it, in a fun way. First off, we're going to actually start with a poll. So you will see in the screen, a poll will ask you 3 questions. Where are you from? What is your age? And what is your occupation? That will be so that we have a general sense about what are the regions, and the age ranges that are represented today in the call. So once you see the poll, please choose or select the option that is right for you, and we'll have about 30 seconds for that. So please go ahead. All right, we have some responses coming in. A couple from North America, Latin America, the Middle East, Africa, Asia. The age groups are also between 21-30, 31-40, We have a lot of people working in the international nonprofit sector. It's so cool. Some working in governmental sectors, private sectors, some who are even freelancers. Um, awesome. So please continue putting in your answers. We will have about a couple more seconds for that. We have also a couple from Europe. That's cool. Even those between the age of 4150, 5160, more from the international nonprofit sector. Great, this is a really, really diverse group, guys. This is awesome. Okay, so we've closed the poll now. As you will see, we have about 60% from North America. We have about 17% from Africa, same from Asia, some from the Middle East, Latin America, Europe. This is really diverse. This is amazing. Also, the age group with the most votes actually is between 31 and 40, and we have a pretty a good, we have also pretty good percentages for 21 to 30, 41 to 50, even 60 plus. This is great. And a lot are working in the international nonprofit sector, students. We also have the private sector. So we really, as you see here, we really have a very diverse group, and we have everyone from coming from all around the world with different backgrounds. And this really makes knowledge sharing even more exciting. So great. So now we're done with the poll. We are actually going to go for the second activity, which is putting you in breakout rooms. This will be for you to get to know each other in a smaller setting. So in a couple of seconds, you will see a message that will pop in on the screen that will ask you to join a breakout room. That will be 5 each. So in the breakout room, what you need to do is introduce yourselves in more depth. You can, you can answer the same questions or in the poll, or you can add to that. That's completely up to you. But we want you to answer this question. If you could be invisible for 1 day, where would you go? No quarantine, no COVID test, nothing at all. If you could be invisible, where would you go? One last thing to also keep in mind is that we'll have about 7 minutes for the breakout rooms. And so please be mindful of the time when you talk so that everyone else can get to also, everyone else in your group can get to also talk. So yeah, we'll be sending you to the breakout rooms now. Please have fun. All right, welcome back, everyone. I think we can go ahead and continue. We hope this was a fun activity. You got to know each other, talk about where would you go once we're done with COVID safely, and just, got a sense of who's on the call and what they aspire to do. So now I'm going to give it to my colleague Apoor to talk about YP2LE in youth and positive youth development. So the floor is yours, Apoor.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the amazing and really active participation in the breakout rooms. So really, I'm sure you all want to know what is YP2LE. For those of you who don't know YPLE, YP2LE is really a USAID multi-year funded project. It stands for YouthPower 2, Learning and Evaluation. And it builds on from YPLE, which was the part 1 of the program. YP2LE is based on the positive youth development approach. PYD, or positive youth development, is broadly a philosophy as well as a programmatic approach which supports healthy, productive, and engaged youth as they grow into adulthood. And as you can see in the little diagram over there are 4 components which are interlinked and feed into each other. So the first is assets, so that the youth have necessary resources and skills to achieve desired outcomes. Agency, so that young people have the ability to employ their assets and skills and make decisions about their own lives and set their own goals. And to do that, they need an enabling environment to be able to maximize their assets, agency, and access to services and opportunities. And last and not the least is the contribution, where we encourage young people to recognize and contribute to the development of their communities. And it's about positive youth, not just positive youth development, but positive development of entire communities. So that's broadly PYD. And the learning network is a reflection of this approach. And as we move on to the next slide, YouthPower uses the positive youth development approach, and it seeks to improve the capacity of youth-led and youth-serving institutions to help them engage young people, their families, and communities so that they can reach their full potential. What is a COP? A COP is a community of practice. So as I said, this is YP2LE, and the team went through an extensive listening exercise where we reached out to all the YP2LE partners, and over 6 months, we held a consultation. And this is what we've come up with, a refreshed design for the network. The communities of practice are a part of this new design. And these are spaces for youth serving or youth practitioners to come together, share ideas, tools, build and test practical resources to advance PYD through collaboration, dialogue, and collective sharing and learning. Currently, we have 3 COPs. Um, uh, the first one was on business and entrepreneurship and private sector engagement. It was kicked off last week. If you're interested in watching the webinar, my colleagues will pop up the link here. Today, we are kicking off the COP on youth engagement. And then next week, on 17th, we are kicking off the COP on gender. You can be part of all of these communities of practice or one or two of them, whichever one excites you the most. These are, of course, the first 3 COPs. In the coming weeks and months, we are hoping to launch a few more. So please watch this space. Um, and really, if we move on to the next slide, very briefly, I wanted to discuss what are the benefits of this refreshed design. The new design allows members to opt in and out of platforms. As I have been saying, please do register on the YouthPower website. It's an excellent resource bank of and an excellent platform to connect with like-minded partners and professionals. The new refresh design gives you opportunities for cross-learning and cross-pollination, because as you will see, when you grow to the discussion groups, you can join multiple ones and discuss and have topics and events there. It also gives opportunities for members to drive the agenda of the group, because we are just facilitators. We look for members to drive the agenda of this community of practice. The platform is amazing because each discussion group you join, you can see who the other members are and you can connect with them and get to know each other. Like we are all here from different parts of the world. There is also provision to establish, if you're interested, much more smaller and informal groups that Balkis will touch upon in the next slides. And then, of course, it allows for a more diverse representation, I feel, especially in this digital age where we're all just sitting in our homes and we're able to log in and being able to and are able to be part of this network. And last but not the least, it has allowed us to integrate youth leadership into the network by having youth advisors in each of the COP. And in this COP, it's Balkis. So yeah, next slide.
Great. Thank you so much, Apoor. So like you said, we've redesigned really the platform to respond to the needs, right? So the features of the network came as a response for a need that was highlighted by you and by everyone in the community. And so to address these needs, we created some guiding principles that will serve as a point of reference for us on how well we're doing our work, and to also align with your requests. So the first one is about fostering meaningful connection. This came to be because members expressed how much they want to connect to each other, to network, and to also learn and share knowledge and create opportunities for more, meaningful peer-to-peer relationship. We also, under that same idea, the second point is actually mapping network engagement. That again, because members felt that they need more visibility, they also needed more guidance on how to use the platform and direction on how they can contribute and share their knowledge with other members. The third one is about creating practical resources. So when we listened to the members, they said that they really want to share and create resources that focus on practicality. And that is at the heart of our network and our work here. And the fourth one is about weaving inclusion into the fabric, which is really self-explanatory. So we want to be as inclusive as possible. As you saw from the poll at the beginning, we really have a diverse group from all around the world, from all different age groups and even different occupations. So we want to make sure that everyone feels included into this network. The fifth point is about ensuring member agency and agility. So we developed this because we kept in mind that community structure and power dynamics might really affect some members. So we wanted to make sure that everyone, literally everyone, feels like they are part of the community. And it really is called community of practice, right? So it only makes sense to create that communal sense between everybody. And the last point is about empowering champions to facilitate. This is, like Apoor said, we're only facilitators. You guys here are going to lead this community of practice, and we want you to know and to feel that you're ready to do it. And so a part of our role is to make sure that we empower you to be champions of the network. So these are our guiding principles. And moving in to the next slide, we're going to talk about our goals. And so, like we said, learning and sharing knowledge is at the heart of what we do. So it only makes sense for the first goal to be about collecting and disseminating PYD resources. And so that's why it really is reflecting even our guiding principles that we just talked about. So we created COPs, like you saw, we have three different ones. We created, we'll be having online discussions, the network-wide platform. Also, you have the two links if you haven't registered yet, and we'll talk at the end about the YouthPower platform. The second goal is about customizing and developing new PYD resources, and that falls under the idea of the first goal. So small groups are going to develop something new, and these are groups that really identify a gap in the PYD field, and they feel that it needs to be addressed. And so they come together to provide new resource or work on new research or a process as a response to that. We also want you guys to engage with each other in applied learning. And so if someone is an expert or has some sort of skill and they would like to deliver that to everyone else, or if they want to talk about best practices from an experience or previous project that they did, they're actually able to do that. And that's why we said we want you to learn more about a new issue or a topic through, from the members in the group itself. And our last goal is about building connections and relationships for applied learning. And again, this only makes sense. It really does make sense because we are a community after all, right? And communities really thrive and they grow when they build meaningful connections between each other. And so that's why we have, for example, affinity groups. Affinity groups is a group that if people who share something in common, so like they come from the same region or they speak the same country. So let's say they can connect under a Spanish language speaking group if let's say they come from Spain and then Latin America, and so all of them they do speak Spanish. And so these are our really four major goals in here, and we hope we're going to achieve that through what I'm going to talk about in the next slide. So yeah, how will we achieve everything we just talked about? How are we going to achieve these goals? So Apoor and I thought about having monthly COP meetings. We'll actually try to decide on the date of that at the end. We're also going to have online discussion groups that will be more moderated by Apoor and I. We will hopefully have 5 to 6 goals per year with the members to share knowledge, to provide, just to really listen to you, tell us what your comments are, what can we do better, what can we improve, what do you need? And then with that, we'll also throughout the year have 4 knowledge sharing webinars. And the last points that you see here in the slide are about creating resources, creating events, helping in producing resources and support for everyone in the group, and for you to also be able to access that information provided in the network through the youthpower.org platform. Great. So moving into the next slide. So who can help? That will be a webinar. That's why we are your facilitators. So what we're really going to do here is a lot about support and a lot about empowering everyone to take the lead. Of course, we're going to foster common sense of purpose, especially about knowledge sharing and learning. We are going to listen to your needs like we've been doing for a long time now. Hopefully also, help in creating this passion for learning, for exchange, and simply try to make sure that everything goes smoothly, that you have a vibrant virtual meeting space, that we host events, that we manage the growth of the COP, the evolution, and we'll also work on executing communications. But really, at the end of the day, you guys are the backbone of the COP. Apoor and I are just here to make sure that you shine. All right. So yeah, and
Great.
moving in, yeah, that will be so the next slide I will let Apoor talk about that.
Thank you, Balkis, for that. And yes, everyone, we want the role of the COP members really, as Balkis has very well put it, is you're the backbone, you're the ones who are going to be driving this agenda. And we would like all of you to create a common sense of purpose, which, of course, for us is meaningful youth engagement. We would like you to share interests, ideas, needs, resources, and expertise with this community of practice. We would, of course, expect you to engage respectfully on the Power platforms that, again, I would say, please do log in and make a profile if you haven't already. It's an excellent resource, and we are going to be in touch in the next coming months on that platform. We would like you to attend our monthly virtual meetings. Of course, we are hoping to have quarterly knowledge sharing webinars, but we would like to have monthly meetings where we discuss just something which members want to do, so that we keep in touch with each other. We would like you to participate in the COP discussion group. Again, towards the end of the webinar, we'll explain to you step by step on how to join a discussion group once you've signed on to the YouthPower website. And last and not the least is identify and engage relevant opportunities in the network. Please share whatever you come across which is relevant so that we create it as a very lively and a buzzing space. Moving on, since we keep saying we want you to drive the agenda, we are going to do a very short and little cute activity on Padlet. And we are just going to put the link of the Padlet in the chat box. So just please click on the link to the Padlet, and it will take you to a screen which has 3 very short questions for you to type in. Yes, so here are the questions. In order to drive this agenda and design the learning agenda for the COP, we want you to answer the 3 questions. First is, what would you like to learn as part of the COP, right? Because it is a learning network after all. And of course, it is a COP for youth engagement. But as a part of that, what would you like to learn? Second is, all of you are experts. We believe that young people are the experts in whatever they do. And all of you, of course, are the experts in what you do. So we would like you to tell us what expertise you would like to offer to this platform. And then lastly, we would like you to tell us how you would like to stay connected to this COP. So what are some of the ideas that you have to stay connected to the COP? The YouthPower website, of course, is an excellent platform. And that is the platform which we would encourage and like all of us to use. But if you have any other ideas, then please do share. So now I'm going to shut up for the next 60 seconds or so and let you fill in and tell us all the amazing ideas that you have. Wow, I can already see people typing in. Excellent. Excellent. I think we've got some really good things over here. Let me wait for like 30 more seconds. Please just type away whatever comes to your mind. I would just request everyone to comment on these and not try and make a new post. I'm sorry. I'm young, but I'm still technologically challenged. I should have disabled that feature, but I clearly did not. Please do not create new posts, just comment on the existing post. So under each question, please put your comment. Do not create with the plus sign a new post. I like what Hina has said. If you are having trouble with putting things in the Padlet, please feel free to type in here. We'll share. Wow, I think we are going to the second layer where we'll have to scroll down. So maybe I can just share some of the initial thoughts that have come. So some of the ideas on what people would like to learn as part of the COP. Of course, ways to engage meaningfully with young people, tools and resources. Um, what are the hot button issues for youth right now? I like that one. Defining youth engagement and skills, build capacity of young people, lessons learned from others. Let me move on to the expertise. Let me just actually stick to this. Building a good network, challenges, and successes. We do definitely believe in sharing best practices. So that will definitely be up in the agenda. Thank you so much. Then, in terms of expertise that people want to bring in with rural youth, very important. 17 SDGs, very important. 25 years of experience, brilliant. In the MENA region, definitely. Theoretical and practical PYD programming and models, very important. Experience of working in Africa, excellent. The continent with the youngest population. Networking to over 120 countries, excellent. Please do. Balkis, do you want to take over now for the last one?
Yeah, sure. So ideas on how to stay connected to the CLP. Someone's saying about making an account and having internal meetings. You were already you'll actually have to make an account on the platform anyway, and that account is going to help you to stay connected to everyone. Also, diverse ways of engaging. We'll work on that. Having webinars, regular sessions, calls. We'll definitely have that on the agenda. Um, Library of tools that is well organized for sure. We're going to have our resources organized and accessible, like I said, to all of you. Monthly meetings. Yeah, we're actually going to agree on the second meeting right after. And yeah, learning webinars and engagement for sure. Sharing useful resources. That's actually at the heart of what you do, knowledge, what we do, knowledge sharing. Knowing about other people for sure. This platform is a networking opportunity for everyone really in here, even for us, Torb and I. Um, WhatsApp groups, use of Google Docs. Thank you for that idea. Small group projects, definitely. That's what part of what small groups actually are going to do. Um, Sharing opportunities, social media marketing, sharing best practices. So these are some of the really good ideas that you guys suggested. Thank you so much. Keep adding your ideas, please, because this will really help us frame how we're going to work and how we're going to move next, and also give us a good idea about what you want and what you need. So
Thanks.
over.
And I can just quickly read from the chat. Hafiz is saying that he can't wait for the next meeting. Me neither, Hafiz. There's Christabel is telling us that she would like to bring knowledge on SDGs, and frequent community calls, what she would like. Excellent. Um, yeah, this is amazing. Thank you, everyone. And I just wanted to say that please keep typing it in. Please keep typing in all these amazing ideas, all these brilliant ideas that you have into the Padlet. We will, of course, be downloading all these responses and sifting through them after the call is over. This is amazing. There's another one looking at a systems approach. Definitely, Lisa, very, very important indeed. Let's move on now. Thank you, everyone, for giving us all these amazing and brilliant ideas for us to set up the learning agenda.
Sorry
Um,
for interrupting. I just wanted to let everyone know that they can still keep adding their ideas to the Padlet, even once we're done with the call. So you have the link. Just please continue putting in ideas. Like I said, that will serve as a reference point for me and for to make sure that we deliver an agenda that is suitable to all of you. So please keep and continue on putting in your ideas in there. Great. Yeah, so our next steps, one important thing, like we've been saying, we need to do right now is actually agreeing on the next COP meeting date. So the suggested options are Thursday of the second week of January, Thursday of the third week of January, or Thursday of the fourth week of January. To get your responses, we're going to launch a new poll like we did the first time. So you should be able to see it on the screen now. Please vote for the timing that works the most for you, and that will decide, yeah, the date of our next COP meeting. Okay, I think most responses are going for the third week of January, which will be the Thursday of that third week.
And just
Yeah,
to,
please go ahead,
yeah, and
Apoor.
just to add was the fact that why we've kept Thursdays because we felt that since the first one is kicking off on Thursday, let's keep Thursday as our day. And let's just continue with that because, of course, we don't want to bother some of you on Friday evenings or Friday mornings. So that's why we decided to have it on Thursday.
Yeah,
Back to you.
sure. Great. Okay, everyone, we'll give you a couple more seconds. Please continue voting so that we know when we'll have our next meeting. Like I said, so far, the winner is the third week of January with almost 60% of votes. So, okay, so I think that's it. So our meeting will be on Thursday of the third week of January. Of course, if you want to look up the date of that, maybe put it in the chat. Thank you. That would be great. Okay, everyone. So we have our next meeting. We'll communicate more details about that with you. The next steps that we really encourage you to do are also, first of all, registering your profile on the youthpower.org website and introducing yourselves in the discussion forum. So if we move to the next slide, you will see this is what it looks like. This is our website. So once you go to youthpower.org, right on the top right corner where you see register, please go in there and register your profile. You'll need some personal information. It will also ask you some questions. So try to respond to them as accurate as you can because that will be on your profile, although you can also edit it later on. After your profile has been approved, then you can log in. And if you follow the arrow that leads to communities, you click on it. And once you click on communities, you'll see all the COPs that we have in there. And ours is actually at the very bottom. So ours is Youth Engagement COP. All you need to do is simply click on it and join it. And so after you do that, moving into the next slide, you will basically become part of the Youth Engagement COP. And that's what you'll see if you click on the discussion forum tab in there. So the right arrow on the slide actually points to the thread that we've created for you to introduce yourselves once you join. So I think we have a couple of people who've already done that. Please don't be shy. Go ahead and do it. It will really help everyone to get to know each other and network, and for us to also get to know you. So once you join, once you create your profile, which is a really important step to communicate with us and stay connected to the COP, also introduce yourselves. And Apoor and I will be taking a look on all of the introductions as well. Yeah, so I will now give the floor to Apoor to ask you one last question.
So, since we've already decided the next date, what we really wanted to hear from you is which idea out of all those amazing and brilliant ideas that came on the Padlet excites you the most to discuss in the next COP. Of course, we'll sit and sift through all the responses that came. But what is that one thing that you're most excited to discuss in the first month of the new year 2021, which will hopefully bring in new hopes for all of us? Please just type in that one idea that you would like to discuss in the chat box. Um, yes. And as you guys type in your one idea which you would like to share and which excites you the most for the next COP here in the chat box, um, I would also like you to continue the discussion into the discussion groups on the Youth Power website. So please do introduce yourself, like Balki said there, and do share some ideas. If you don't want, if something doesn't come to you right now, then please do share these ideas on the discussion group on the website. Um, Meanwhile, what I would like, okay, let me actually, before I move on, yeah, let me just let's responses come in, and then let me share the other two news which I thought is important to share with all of you. We also have two very exciting events coming up in the next week. The first one is on the 15th, which is a global webinar by VSO Voluntary Service Overseas on building communities resilience through youth volunteer networks. It's on the December of 15th. And then the other event, which we have, of course, on the December the 17th, is the kickoff of the gender community of practice. So those of you who are interested in specifically engaging in discussions on gender, please do sign up and please do attend. Um, and yes, let me now go back to the chat and see what ideas are all of you excited about the most to discuss on 21st January 2021. 21 and 21. So engagement on SDGs, engaging rural youth. There's an idea of a vision board. Definitely, we should use as many interactive digital tools as possible. Rural youth again. What do we mean by youth engagement? Very important. And how do we measure meaningful youth engagement? Youth leadership, fostering positive youth development, systems, having common measures, digital citizenship, gender and masculinity. Maybe we can collaborate. But yes. Okay, concrete examples for out of school youth on participating in leadership. Uh, Systems mapping, again, rural areas, very good. Women empowerment, um, delivering complex content and connecting digital citizenship against gender-based violence, accountability and transparency, especially between partners and funders, one of my favorite topics. Um, yeah, leadership again. So very many ideas, but I can see sort of digital and rural and accountability and leadership coming out as the top ones. This is excellent. Um, and please keep them coming. I can see we still have 10 minutes left. We've done well on time. So before we actually conclude, I would like to now take some questions from all of you. Because it's an online webinar, I understand it'll be hard for us to ask you to unmute yourself. But if you can pop up questions that you have in the chat box, we will answer them as they come. So we've got these really good 10 minutes for you to ask us questions. Then please use that and let us know if you have any questions. You can still see a lot of ideas coming in. If you guys have questions, I would repeat, please ask us now. We'd be more than happy to answer them. Just just type them away in the chat box. How will this COP interact with others? Will we get the recording? Yes, you will definitely get the recording. When you talk about others, I'm assuming people outside the space. Well, everything is available on the YouthPower website. Um, and it seems, and the YouthPower website is a freely available online resource for everyone. We, of course, as YP2LE partners and as COP champions and advisors, go out and share these resources on other platforms. So that's how we really connect with everyone. But of course, the idea is to bring everyone in to the YouthPower network. Youth engagement, indeed, I definitely agree. It is very, very closely related to some of the other COPs. We haven't decided it yet very firmly, but we will definitely engage with other COPs, whether it is on gender, whether it is on private sector engagement and youth employment and businesses. Yes, again, intersectionality, definitely we are going to explore holding joint events between two COPs. So for example, maybe, and we'll have to discuss this, but maybe in some months, like March, for example, is the International Women's Day, but it's also the International Women's Month. So that's an opportunity for us to engage with the gender of COP and have a focus on gender, let's say. And then, of course, I think it's September is International Youth Day. So there are moments and events on in particular months where we can when where all of the COPs or two of the COPs can come together and do events. So we definitely would like to do that, and we will be doing that. Any more questions?
Yeah, guys, definitely keep your questions coming in. Just as a reminder for everyone, don't forget to register yourself on the platform. That will be our main channel of communication. So we want to get hold of you and we want to listen to your ideas. So please register yourself if you haven't already. And we still have a couple of minutes if you have any questions or any concerns or comments or just one crazy cool idea you have in mind that you want to share with us. Feel free to add it to the chat.
I can see people are dropping off. That's totally fine. But just don't forget to go back to register yourself at the Youth Power website. Maybe, Hina, if we could have the slide on the Youth Power website up, that would be really good, I think, just so that people don't forget it. Excellent. Thank you. So this is really our last message to you, loud and clear. Please register yourself on the Youth Power website. Um, Membership indeed is beyond borders. Regina, I'm sitting in Uganda, but he's sitting in Tunisia, and our colleagues, some of them are sitting in the US. So that's the beauty of this online platform, is it's totally beyond borders, and we want people from across the world to sign up and be a part of this wonderful community of practitioners working to further meaningful youth engagement.
Thank you, everyone. We're also looking forward to 2021. Hopefully, COVID free very soon. Um, thank you all for coming in today. Yeah, I think this is it. I think we can close it.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you so much for being here today, for listening to us. Hopefully, this was helpful, helped you understand what the COPs are here for. Um, hopefully also you will register, you have registered yourself on our platform, and we definitely look forward to seeing you and interacting with you very soon. Apoor, do you want to say any last words?
That's it. And thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. And we look forward to seeing you on 21st January 2021. And please participate in the online discussions and let's keep this conversation moving. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks all. Have a great day.